cray. I had to reset the entire phone. No, I'm not. They're making me late. I had to fight just to get this far. Hold on. While we go through this. All right. I was on my midday run before all this became news. So, welcome. For all those who hung in, stuck around. They've tried to block this live stream. Why, I have no idea when it's world news. But whenever it's me, you know, live stream don't want to activate. All kind of bugs and all kind of crap. So as you can see, they're basically saying we're going to screw up this entire live screen because we can. What's up, Chris? What's up, Juan? Don't forget to hit the like button too. Um, Now, Adidas has dropped Kanye West from all of its, like everything. All the old stuff that they were selling has been stopped and halted immediately. So they're ending their partnership with Kanye, and none of the materials that they have will be sold. So they're stopping all payments also to Kanye West, which is very key. Because when you stop someone's payments, you better have a vastly good reason to stop all payments. Now, Kanye could literally, probably, depends on all the things that he's done. I'm quite sure they put their ducks in a row to make sure if Kanye sue, they would keep him in court for 3, 4, maybe 5 years before it ever goes into a courtroom. At least 2 years. Drain him out of all his revenue. One, I don't find the shoe aesthetically pleasing to me. hmm Well, even though I never liked the clothing, some people did. Well, because of the fame, they paid for it. So now the Adidas claims that they were contacted by people from the ADL, and they saying you're funding Kanye West. Everyone else is dropping him. You better get on board. So Adidas would lose major sponsorships that they have, such as this is affects tennis, um, which is one of their biggest revenue draws, and a lot of different programs that are attached to Mr. Kanye West. Well, that net worth is dropping now. See, your net worth is based on what you have and what it's worth based on what you have as a demand of product and services. But he's only liquid about 120, according to him. He says he's worth 11 billion. In Kanye words, that means about maybe two. In his mind, he's worth 11, but he's probably worth about two. Then he says he's liquid 120. That means probably about 12. So you gotta look at Kanye logic and everybody else logic. Yes, they made up. The thing is that what Kanye was able to do for Adidas was to build up their stock. You know, I feel bad for Jalen Brown because again, he signed to someone to represent him who's who's also connected to fame. It's like people who had Lil Wayne agency. Even though he had that beautiful girl representing all the clients, to me, I think it's counterproductive, to say the least. I don't really feel the meetings were that private. Hit the like button too if you just got here. The super chat worked. My cash app is Carcino. Thanks to everybody who cashed app. We will be doing a thank you for them later on in the day. Well, see, Jay Z and Rock Nation Sports, Jay Z's not in there representing anyone. Rock Nation is just what they decide to call it because it's really Live Nation and their representatives. That's why they just call it Rock Nation, just because Jay Z's involved. But what these people are people that Live Nation helped bring in to the, so it's a whole different party. But oh, Jay Z do got a couple of his homeboys working there. No one said one shoe. I don't know where one shoe came from. Maybe he's talking about something else. I don't. I have no idea where one shoe even came from. Maybe he was responding to somebody. T, you probably was responding to somebody else in the chat. But thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. But no, one shoe never came out of my mouth. Well, I hope he has a plan B and C. Yes, CAA. Once he was dropped from his agency, these are the things that come along with that. Your agency normally puts you in line with a lot of brands. So if you sever your ties with the agency, 9 times out of 10, you sever your ties with the brand. But what's important here is that payments were stopped. Why would payments be stopped when shoes and payments and revenue is still being added up? I don't understand that part of it. I know it's draining. I never bought the shoes because I never saw a shoe that he made that I was interested in buying. Now, if anyone else feels that they like the shoe and need the shoe, and by all means, knock yourself out. Go and get the shoe. You always wanted Jordans. Well, here's the thing. It was rumored that Kanye West was very abusive to his staff. They were preparing to find a way out from Kanye. And this is when they start leaking information about his practices and how he was inappropriate showing adult films to the executives to try to make a point. Once that information was going public, that was held in private meetings, um, you knew they were setting the course for him to be removed. I mean, Adidas was relaunching the ones, everything. So when they were doing and moving in that course of action, they were putting themselves in a predicament that 90% of the other artists don't normally make it out of or entertain it. You remember the guy that was on the Shy, who played Easy E and Straight Outta Compton, that actor, entertainer, they basically, off of women's statements, women sticking together, claimed he was acting, uh, erratic on the set of The Shot, and he was the problem, which made one girl leave, and they didn't feel protected, and Lena Thompson went through all that pressure, and they had to remove him. And he was on another movie, which was a bad movie anyway, and they got him out of there. Yeah, that's right. What's that Marty Marr says? Feel like I'm living in a twilight zone. Nothing Kanye said has been anti-Semitic, in my opinion. The problem is you have a Jewish person can't be addressed and labeled as hate. That is unfortunately the scenario here. So what you're seeing here is this unfair justice when the man has went publicly and basically apologized, did what they asked, and they still came after him. Now my thing is why you can't have an intelligent conversation? Because people want to escape their past. So because people decided they wanted to escape their past this morning, that's supposed to affect everybody. So now everybody in corporate America is canceling Kanye West. All because he had a White Lives Matter t-shirt and he went on Drink Champs. He was on Fox News before that. I never see them mention or they making the host of Tucker Carlson. I don't remember him going on the Breakfast Club. I don't remember him going on Hot 97. They didn't make Tucker Carlson do any of this. but they made Nori. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying here? Now it was saying that they said that on Dream Champs, he said he could say anti Semitic things and Adidas can't drop him. Now what? Now, I didn't hear that part of it. I'm gonna have to go back and listen again, but I never heard that part of it. But he went on Twitter and tweeted on Twitter and tweeted that he's gonna go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Now, that tweet right there, the way it's worded, that's wrong. And I think that's what he apologized for. That's what he apologized was for that tweet. But the George Floyd thing with the fentanyl, that statement that he made, that to me was more offensive than any of this, especially if it's inaccurate. Because the family has to, see his name thrown around again in a negative and trying to make it look like he asked for it or something. So, it pisses them off all over again. So I would understand that part of it, but well, Adidas says it does not tolerate anti-Semitism and other hate speech, and view Kanye West as unacceptable, hateful, and dangerous. Now, he said the black conservative straight male with an opinion and free mind is a threat. Yeah, they're talking about dangerous, hateful, and dangerous. They are right. Anti-Semitism and hate speeches are dangerous. They're very dangerous. It's dangerous when Biden was saying it in the past. It was dangerous when Trump was saying it. It was dangerous every time it was stated in the public on a platform. It has always been dangerous because it affects other people. Other people start taking action. So it becomes a very dangerous situation. Now, Adidas said that Kanye violated the company's value of diversity and inclusion and mutual respect and fairness. So sales, productions of the Yeezy brand products has stopped as well as his payments and his companies. So all Kanye's companies and outlets that got money from Adidas and everything else, all the payments have stopped because he violated the code of the company's policies. So that gives them the right to stop paying him effective immediately. So all the payments are frozen. And what's going to happen is the money's going to go into an escrow account. And when Kanye sues to get his money, or sue for breach of contract or whatever, they're going to try to find ways to say he violated. And they got the law firm to keep this going, where they eventually will have to pay Kanye some of his money. This is going to hurt Adidas by $250 million in its fourth quarter sales by them stopping all production of Yeezy products and sales. They're going to lose in this quarter $250 million. But you know what? They're not going to lose $250 million. They're going to sell the rest of that Yeezy stuff on the black market, allegedly. And the people who told them to drop Kanye West is going to make right by that $250 million. No, for the fourth quarter sales, they're going to take a hit of about 250 million. Overall, this is going to hurt in the long run because if you're not putting out Kanye West materials, if you're not doing the Yeezys, you don't have a personality like Kanye West who could sell it. Adidas will go to the wayside. They're going to lose a lot of money because they're going to lose our money. Do you know we brought Adidas back? This guy right here wore Adidas 4 years straight. Nothing but Adidas. Adidas underwear, cologne, shoes, socks, underwear. If I didn't say that already, I had an Adidas watch. I had Adidas watches. You didn't even know Adidas made watches, probably, but I had Adidas watches. I didn't even order out of the store. I had a catalog. This was before internet. This is when you had to have the East Bay book. I had the rep for Adidas contact me and say, what do you want? Adidas had equipment brand. When they had the equipment brand, I was the brand, basically, ambassador of it. It was brand new. It wasn't the old street three-stripe logo like the Run DMC old logo. It was the new one with the 3 bars. It was more hip. Nobody had really seen it. Adidas cologne was terrible, but I had it. It was Adidas. I wore everything Adidas. Now, for 4 straight years, and everybody was in the Jordan craze, I was wearing Adidas. Didn't touch Jordans. This was from 1994 to like 98. Nothing but Adidas. Every day. Yeah, so I had the Adidas equipment, everything. Shoot, I can go back and show you the photos. 4 straight years. Nothing but Adidas. Every single day. So I had the Adidas reps number. Yeah. So they would, I wouldn't even have to go. It was a store, it used to be called Foot Action. I don't know if you guys had Foot Action before. I had Foot Action, and Foot Action would come directly, the manager of the store. As soon as I come in, he wants to make sure I'm there because he knows I'm going to get everything in bulk. So as soon as I get my check, it's Foot Action. That was where I went. Foot Action had everything. I ain't Foot Locker. They can go to hell. I went there one time. Foot Action had. I mean, Foot Locker had nothing. Foot Action had everything. So I went to Foot Action and said, "This is what I need. I need this, 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 and this." And they didn't have it in the certain colors I needed. So the Adidas rep went and found them from New York, New Jersey. New York had everything I needed. No, mom's in there watching her movies, and so I'm being respectful of mom. Uh, no, my sinuses is crazy because it went to like 70, 80 degrees at the end of October. Gilbert Arenas rep, Adidas rep, lives in Chicago. He lives like 10 minutes from me. It's a small world after all. Why is there a non-stop Kanye channel? I guess to, you know, keep it going. Somebody said we still got Foot Action down here. Well, the thing is, Adidas, that's going to be a crazy lawsuit. Now with Gap, Kanye walked away from that, and he said how we work together to deliver the vision is not aligned. So we're deciding to wind down our partnership. That was in an email they sent out, and they just said we're going to wind down our partnership with Kanye West, and they just said we just had substantial non-compliance from Kanye West. Um, Kanye West said he was left no choice but to terminate that. Well, Bernard Arnault definitely has it out for Kanye West, especially saying these type of things. But that's more Patreon talk. Mm-mm. Nobody was going to the Gap. I didn't see that. Someone shoplifting in the Gap. The Gap is in its worst financial state it's probably had been in. Um, you've seen what happened with the guy. The new ownership is in there now, so you still might see Yeezy, Gap, and merchandise, and they're gonna sell off the existing parts of the merchandise that they have, including their collection of the fall. So the first half of 2023, all of that is gonna be sold off. They haven't cut any ties from it. So Kanye's Instagram account has been taken away, and suspended. They still haven't brought it back, and they're saying that they said Kanye West on Twitter was supposed to be gone for 2 years, but he made a return back to Twitter. Then on October the 8th, they came on there and took away his tweet when he talked about the DEF CON situation. Then he said, "You've toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who ever opposes your agenda." But he didn't say which group he was addressing. And then Bensalaga, whatever the fashion house, they severed the ties over the weekend for the collaboration they did with the Yeezy Gap. So now he no longer have that relationship for any other future project, and this relates to his artists. So any artist that he worked with in the industry, they can't do anything with him anymore. So if you 2 Chainz, if you connected to Kanye West, they're not going to work with you. You understand? So this pushes people away. Then CAA, which is the Creative Arts Agency, they did the same thing. Uh, no, it was Oliver Dancy, I believe, that reported that he's no longer a client. They never challenged him on it because they didn't feel they had to. But like I always tell you, it's freedom of speech, but watch what you say. Now his lawyers are going to have to sue to try to get and recover the funds that they lost based on this fact alone. They had about, what, 13% right here. Just gone for no reason. No, not at all. He can sell merchandise probably on his own, if he has any products. But the thing is that they were producing it. They had a distribution deal. So when you have a distribution deal, it costs a lot of money to produce it and make it yourself. If you want to produce and make your own materials, that costs a lot of money. So this is why a big baller brand with LeVar Ball fell apart when they tried to do their own shoe and wanted to cut out the middleman and be in charge of distribution. It's like your heart's in the right place, but you're not ready for that. And everybody's like, I'm with him. I'm go ahead, LeVar. And I'm like, I'm with him too. And y'all thought I was against him, but the way he was doing it was crazy. When Nike tried to partner with him and say, we're going to be in charge of distribution, which means that we'll make the shoe for you. We'll have the employees. We'll have the warehouses. All you have to do is pay them their percent. He didn't like that number. He thought that was too much a percent, even though they've lost many millions that they could have capitalized on in Lonzo's first 3 years, the Big Baller brand. They lost anywhere from 400 million to about anywhere from 275 to 400 million on an average on the Big Baller brand deal. They lost 400 million. Those it's people that never got shoes. Shannon Sharp never got his shoes. Never got his pair of Big Baller brand shoes. You believe Donald Trump. Trump and Kanye the same. That's why they get along. Both of them be lying. No, I didn't. But I'm going to pull it up and we'll listen to it together because I heard about it earlier that he said something. This is before I went live. And they weren't letting me go live. It was in the middle of my walk.
Gone. Abortion is on the back.
Oh, buddy, election time. Yeah, we're going to listen to Russ.
What's going on, world? This your homie.
A song called My Adidas, and that song became so big, I mean so explosive, that it saved the company, Adidas, saved them. They were going to go bankrupt. And they made a deal with Run DMC, and Run DMC got a little piece of the sneakers that they made for Adidas and a check. It was the biggest check at the time, the biggest check that Adidas had given anybody, and no music person had a license deal like that. We were first. And we saved Adidas. Well, they did. I helped produce the song. My Adidas. And then artists started to realize, and we worked for many years in many industries, realizing the value of our relationship with our consumers. And we worked with many companies, and at one point we actually said, fuck Adidas, and made our own sneakers. And the Fat Classics were selling for $100, and Shelto Adidas was selling for $39.99. It was an explosive moment. It led to saving Fat Farm from its own extinction. And then we sold the company, and thank you, $500 million gross in sneakers that we did with the Fat Classics. Amazing. And the thing that we broke the mold, because we proved that you didn't have to suck up under Adidas or Nike or anybody to sell sneakers, because no one had sold anything but legitimate. Nothing was cool except Nike, perhaps Puma, but not really, and Adidas. That was it. And we would never allow ourselves to own ourselves and do our own shit at all. But we did it, and it was, I remember Damon Dash laughed at me. What kind of corny shit is that, your own sneaker? But we had some vision and some luck, and we got through it. The Daba family manufactured and sold those sneakers for us, but we owned them. So Kanye is getting free from these people and getting free from I don't know what the fuck, that expensive company that he's the brand, that expensive company. And Kanye is a plus to them. They had to get rid of him, but he was a plus to them because his brand was so strong. So his sneakers, his clothing, he don't need the Gap, he can make his own. He can make his own everything. So he's set to go. It's not hard to make your own shit. So I'm sure he'll do that. And if he ends up owning everything and wanting to manufacture, he can go to some partners. I had many partners. And he said once that he was very jealous of the Jewish community for owning everything. Well, no one owns him. And they can manufacture for him, make friends with all.
Russ is such a businessman. We're finna go through this statement. Hold on. Y'all don't really hear what's going on. I'll tell you when I get back. Oh my goodness.
Now what?
I got 2 appointments today, but I got a meeting, the one that was supposed to be Friday today. Then I got to go to the bank again because they didn't do anything right. So now I got to go to the bank and see about the cards.
Okay.
But yeah, Kanye just got dropped by Adidas. They got rid of him. So Russell Simmons is telling him where he got to go.
Oh, Lord.
And where that he don't need him. But oh man. No, what you're not hearing is what I hear. Russ is trying to get a piece of this. He's trying to capitalize off Kanye West's situation. He sees how valuable Kanye West is, and he sees this is my way. I will make some connections with my partners because I want a piece of that Kanye West money. Russ sees an opportunity. See, no, my bank is supposed to make me new cards, and they haven't made new cards yet. And international monies is being transferred from one place to another, and it needs to be made. I need to be made whole. And when you have international money coming in through international wires, you have to make sure that everything, all countries are not the same. They move differently. So me, I have money coming in from different countries. So I have to go in and make sure my bank is equipped. As I told you before, I was there. I'm live everywhere. So you saw me live at the bank. Now, let's get back to this. In this scenario, Russ is trying to use Kanye West, and he wants Kanye to hear it, so Kanye will reach out to him, or he'll reach out to Kanye, and he's making it look like he's helping Kanye when he's really getting a cut from the people that want to work with him and saying you can own your own, like I did with Fat Farm. And I had the Fat Classics. But Fat Farm was losing money. And the Fat Classics came out and they used Run DMC to advertise it. He had to pay Run to advertise his shoes. That's not what saved the company. Those shoes did not save the company at all. Baby fat Baby Fat saved Fat Farm. Baby Fat, that Kamoro, his wife, was in charge of, sold way more than Fat Farm. Fat Farm was just a fad. Baby Fat sold for another 5 to 6 years. Easy, making double of what Fat Farm did. Russ is a manipulator and liar, too, so you can't really trust a lot of what Russ says. Now, the first part he said was that Adidas gave them a piece. Adidas didn't give them anything. My Adidas was made with no deal in place, no talks with Adidas. Run DMC just wore Adidas. Adidas had never reached out to them. They did a show at Madison Square Garden, and the Adidas rep had heard the song. They performed the song, My Adidas. The Adidas rep was there, and he said, Run told everybody to hold up their sneakers if they got an Adidas. People took their shoe off and was holding their Adidas in the air. And the rep was like, I gotta sign these dudes right now. I gotta do a deal with them now. Because if we don't, and they go someplace else to Nike or anything else, these dudes, we gonna make millions off of Run DMC. He's saying Baby Fat came out in 1999. Yes, I'm aware when Baby Fat came out. But Baby Fat saved Fat Farm. Do you not know that? If you had a girl and she had on a Baby Fat coat back then, well, you probably ain't old enough. But yeah. Now, Fat Farm came out and it had its run because they were using LL Cool J, and LL Cool J said, nah, he had FUBU. FUBU kept LL Cool J afloat. So he didn't have that going in there. So he had his contract with FUBU. They were paying LL to wear their products. No, the Adidas deal, they didn't get a piece of it. They paid them $25,000 to wear Adidas. Run DMC got a check for like $25,000, and they got to wear any Adidas shoes they wanted. They did not have a Run DMC signature shoe. This is why Russ was upset with all the money they made all throughout the years of Adidas. They couldn't get a brand deal. Thanks, Juan. Yeah, they couldn't get a brand deal. So when they had Fat Farm came out, that was Russ's attire. Uh, Dame thought it was corny for them to go to the gym shoe game. Russ wanted to go to Fat Farm Classics and mix his own shoe because he was ticked off. Whenever Russ gets ticked, he tries to challenge. So he went with the Fat Classics. And he paid Run DMC basically Run got like $1 million or something. It was like a 7-figure deal, the biggest they've ever got to switch from Adidas and go to the Fat Farm Classics. And like Run DMC leaves Adidas and go to Fat Farm. Adidas got rid of Run DMC because they felt like they're old, they're fat. It's time to move on. So by the time Russ was talking about doing this deal with Run DMC and all these, it was done. The Adidas thing was, they were, why would they be spending money to do something you've already done? You've already helped build their brand. To say they saved Adidas, no. Adidas had contracts within the NBA, so they didn't. Adidas was they had college basketball teams. Um, the shell toe Adidas was a classic shoe. And at that time, it was Converse, the Chucks. That was the 70s and 80s shoe. And the Adidas and then Nike. They were the top three apparel shoes. Diadora was known as the tennis shoe for people who played tennis. So they were made for the tennis court. But people started rocking them in fashions in the 80s. LL Cool J was the first one I've seen who used to rock them. Then Dana Dane used to wear them, the Diodora shoe. Now, rappers weren't getting deals in the way that people thought. So they made Troop. Troop was the first shoes that was made, and black people actually was making the shoes. So the Troop went to the Troop jackets. They made the Troop shoes, but they couldn't keep manufacturing. It was costing them way too much money. Now Russ has the connections with the same people who used to make his Fat Classics. Kanye already has a brand that works way bigger than anything Russ had ever did. So what Russ wants to do is get a piece of that Kanye money. Yes, British Knights was out in the 80s, but that was mostly on the strength of those was hip hop based brands based on what Adidas was able to do with Adidas. But Adidas had NBA deals. Like they were the largest NBA shoe. Michael Jordan almost signed with Adidas. So to say Run DMC saved uh, Adidas, they was about to go bankrupt. That was a lie. That was a flat out lie. Adidas was not about to go bankrupt. So no, they lost a lot of during the 80s because of Michael Jordan. Nike, which was a nobody shoe in 84, no one was really wearing Nikes at all. They were called Nikes. And some of them, they were made of, some people wore them on a tennis court. They actually used to have an S on the end of it. And then they actually took the S off of it. And it was just Nikes. That's what they called Nikes. It was never called Nike. We called it Nike. We renamed it because we didn't know it was Nike. So once again, Russ was dishonest. No, Jordan didn't save Nike. He built it. Magic Johnson turned them down when Nike first came out. They gave him ownership to the company. Had he had done that deal and not taken the deal he took with Converse, and he would have, with stock options now, he'd be a billionaire. Well, Michael Jordan had a deal that seemingly was good. They recouped all the money they paid Michael Jordan in his contract within 1 year. No one had any idea it would do that, not even Michael Jordan. Now he has a brand that's paying him multi-millions of dollars and opened up a lot of revenue for Michael to come in. So if you look at where Nike was as a company when he got there, and look at where he took Nike. Nike got deals with the NBA. Nike has all the camps now. They were able to rival the top shoe companies in the world, which Adidas was bigger than them at the time. My Adidas came out in 1987. So Adidas weren't about to go bankrupt. Nike just was coming on like a storm. And they needed to be called fresh again in the streets. That's why they went to Run DMC, because they were the top rap group in the world. And they made a song without Adidas even knowing anything about it, because they wore Adidas all the time. And they were screaming my Adidas. They already made the song with no deal in place. There was no negotiation of a deal. So if you were Russ, this opportunity should have came to you right away. But Russell Simmons was too busy getting high, doing PCP, doing all kind of drugs that he knows he used to do back in those days. And he missed out on the opportunity to get him the opportunity he needed to get Run DMC the opportunities that they should have gotten. It was early on, but still, he blew that. You don't let them make a song called My Adidas without having a conversation with the people on the phone. I don't know how they even came about doing that, to be honest. But to hear Russ here acting like he saved Adidas from going bankrupt, then let me tell you how much of a lie this is. My Adidas came out on the Raising Hell album. That was in Raising Hell was 1987, right? So that's 87. They did the show. And then right after that was Tougher Than Leather. So they had a deal for the Tougher Than Leather album. So that lasted from 87, and that came out in 88, the very next year. They had Tougher Than Leather. They had the movie, Tougher Than Leather. Great movie, by the way. Great hip hop movie. Check it out. Should be on YouTube. Anyway, I'm going to put it on the Patreon for free today. Tougher Than Leather. Run DMC. And I'm going to show you the Puerto Rican belly. You're going to be able to see the Puerto Rican belly. They made it with all the Puerto Rican rappers. Fat Joe, Cuban Links, and this is right when Big Pun died, all the controversy that happened regarding that. We'll put that for free on the Patreon. So you don't even have to pay to be a member. You're going to be able to see it. You're welcome. Now, getting back to this subject. So Tougher Than Leather come out. That was the big Adidas push. That came out, it had much success, and Run DMC was still the top group in the world. But now it's changing. Public Enemy comes out. It changes the game. Now it's more political rap. Hip hop is political. Run DMC is not talking political. Russ wouldn't let him do it. There's no fight the power songs. There's no, and everybody's wearing, the African medallions, cross colors, pumping the fist. That's what it was about. And if you weren't about that, you was about nothing. So they rebelled against any other rappers who wasn't having an identity and talking about that. So you was being shunned. So Run DMC was looked at as old school. So their next album came out and it tanked. Whoa, what was that about? Okay. I see what that is. Crush Groove, yes. Crush Groove was amazing. It was a bunch of lies, a lot of lies that was told there. But the real Crush Groove story was not. Def Jam story wasn't like that. The part about JB taking the loan, yeah, that happened. Street loan. Uh, no, Run DMC came out with a whole new look. The leather hats was out. They changed everything, and people did not like that album. I thought the album was okay. They were just going in a whole different direction, trying to be fun. They made the switch too quick. When they came out with Pause, you had Jam Master Jay rapping in the group. I'm like, what is this? It was more dance friendly. And don't just wait before Down with the King. Down with the King, they came back with the other, they went back to the roots because they went back off the other album that had Pause. My friend hates that. He can't stand that album. Pause. He was like, Jam Master Jay is rapping. It's over. I'm Jay. I make up the tray. Now check out the dance that I display. It's called the pause. The new thing on the dance floor. First you move, and then you stop. Oh my God. Rest in peace, Jam Master Jam. Run, Run hated that album. They forced Run to make that album. And he knew it was bad when they were making it. They had a song, Party Time. It's party time. We only wanna party. Get up and dance your body. Move your body. Cause it's party time. Right at the end, you can hear Ron say, man, this is some bull. It was crazy. Crazy. Run DMC was lost. They were lost because they were stuck in a realm of what do we do here? They were caught in that realm. They were caught in a realm of we're not gangsters, we're not this NWA. NWA came out, so it was gangster rap. And everybody was West Coasting it gangsters. So everything was hardcore. That wasn't accepted before is being said on records. That group is there. Then you have your poor righteous teachers, you have your black sheep, you have people who are thought provocative thinkers and people who were talking about the system, the movement. They doing Fight the Power. They doing all of these songs together, stopping crime and drugs, the anti-drug movement, rap. Public Enemy is strong. So Run DMC has to find their niche. Where are we gonna get in this? And this is why LL Cool J's Walking with a Panther album didn't make it. And the people hated the album. It was like, we don't want to hear that. You ain't talking about nothing real. So it was like, man. So LL was like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's not time for me to talk about women and balling and champagne. They weren't trying to hear all that. LL was way ahead of his time. If he came in the 90s, 95, with that album, he'd been through the roof. Now, right, self-destruction, school, all these, but they tried to find their niche in the middle. And boy, oh boy, did they go left. Um, Gangster rap killed the dance rap. That's true. It did for a long time. Besides, everybody in the club, we used to all dance. You know, you had MC Hammer, you had Salt and Pepper used to dance, you had Kid and Play used to dance. Everybody used to dance. So everybody be like, man, rappers dancing? That's lame. That LL Cool J was dancing. That's how it got to the whole point where rappers used to dance. I don't know where they got the notion that people didn't dance. That's when everybody got too cool. And then like, look, these dudes, Heavy D, right? Everybody danced. So it wasn't like, man, look at this dude dancing. MC Hammer. They made it look like MC Hammer just started dancing. It's just stupid. It's real stupid. So you hear people doing that and they try to put that as a stigma because they know they don't do it. So if they don't make it look uncool, people gonna want them to start dancing. Yeah, Pac was a horrible dancer. But it's funny because that's what Russ is doing. He's lobbying for Kanye to come to him. I got the people that'll help make your shoes and make your stuff. Come talk to Russ. We can cut a deal where Russ get a cut. Russ cares nothing about Kanye West. He cares about this is my way to make some money. I see an opportunity here. That's what that is. Not really. I never saw it on that level. But oh, what's on the Patreon today? We got the whole dirt on Matt Barnes' messy situation. Ooh wee. You been a bad boy, Matty Patty. Bad boy. We got the messages. We got it all. We got it all legit. We got it all legit. So you want to know where Sino get his information from? Told you. Sino got sources. So if you on the Patreon, I told you, it's there. We told you. No, I gotta go and take care of the rest of the business, but dude, the best hip hop movie probably around, or one of the most craziest ones, was Tougher Than Life. It starts with DMC getting out of jail. Dude, I mean, the movie is so absurd, but you got everything in there you couldn't imagine. DMC knocking out the police. Well, when you look at Kanye West, if I'm Kanye West, I'm exploring that. If Russ can help me get that done, Let's get it done. Kanye West has a brand that works. It's not like Kanye brand don't work. Yes, it's free. It's free. It's on the Patreon. Tougher Than Leather. Run DMC's movie. It's for free on Carcino for Life Patreon. Then you missed the market Monday. We had the live stream here where you get to learn about investing. Oh yeah, the two brothers
Let's
came
go
up.
to Caterpillar. Absolute love. Incredible company. Let's look at Boeing. Called that one last year as well. And I told you guys the prices in which to get out of it and hit that price for those of you who got out, job well done. You guys already know how I feel about Apple. Absolutely. Yes. Amgen. Okay.
So the hidden game of investing is on there as well. Definitely take a look at that. Then we got the Puerto Rican belly movie. We'll tell you the story behind the Puerto Rican belly movie in the comment section below. We'll put that out later.
Back on the stage. He was a painter.
No, but I don't know. I think he sculpted. He must have done other mediums.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, they look like 20s. I don't know.
Well, if they're drinking on stage, they should be 21 or at least 18, right? Or they're pouring beer instead.
This has got to be early on because this is all old school, and they changed up. And
Yeah, they get very serious.
Beastie Boys.
ADROCK. I used the microphone like Picasso used clay. Of course, Picasso wasn't.
This is what Russ was like back then. That's Russell Simmons. That's how he dressed.
He did some sculpting.
That's how Russ used to look. That's how Russ used to dress. Russell Simmons. Smoker. Pipe hitting. Russ. Everybody was trying to make a. Everybody was trying to make their own. No, it was really a promo for the album. So you gotta understand, Michael Jackson was gonna do a song with him until Bubbles jumped on him, and that did it. See myself on this big. Yeah, making Tougher Than Leather was probably one of the craziest things they ever did. But yeah, it is what it is. Of course, they don't snatch them off Forbes list. That's what they do. So I'm gonna get out of here. Got some moves to make. I'll holler. Ma.